Hello, everyone. My name is Mama Ntokozo, and this is Think Like the Wealthy podcast. We are on episode 3, and today we have our lovely guest, Ntokozo Hlatshwayo. He is the author of The Value Coefficient. This is a very insightful book. It talks about how, as a human being, you can add value and bring wealth to you. And you know how much we like talking about wealth. Welcome, Putwami, to our lovely podcast. You can just briefly tell us about yourself, particularly from your childhood. What is it that brought out this vision that we're seeing today?
Sure. Well, firstly, thank you so much for having me, Wow. It's I'm honored to be on this podcast. I think it's a revolution that you're starting, and I think the timing is very perfect. We are currently at a time where, I feel like for some nations, especially the developing ones, wealth is so necessary, whereas for some nations, it's just like a nice to have. And I feel like we're at a point right now with the high unemployment rate where our mindsets on wealth needs to change, because the amazing thing about wealth isn't, even though not everyone will necessarily reach it, but the more there are people who are wealthy, the more the rest of the economy benefits, because your wealth creates jobs. So I feel like it's this revolution came at the right time, and I'm really, really honored to be part of it.
So Gamma is not just about you if you get wealthy.
Exactly.
It's about the people around you.
Exactly.
Your community. Yeah, Note that, please.
Yeah, no. So on my side, I'm Ntokozo Hlatshwayo. I'm born and bred in Benoni, specifically in Davidson.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, my journey is quite, it starts, in a simple way. Always been a church boy. Always been all about my books. From a very young age, I wanted to be a chartered accountant, simply because my brother was an accountant, and I heard that they make a lot of money.
Oh wow!
So I'm like, hey.
The way we choose career.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, they say there's a lot of money, I'm gonna go. So that's what I went to, and actually I did enjoy accounting, and I ended up going to university.
Oh wow!
I studied at Wits. I was studying, accounting science. And really my goal and my dream was always this thing of wanting to be a CA. I never thought I wanted to be a business person. I was like, no ways, that's too much work. I just want to work for someone my whole life. That's just it. But I got my degree, but that year was a bit different for me, because I started to fall in love with the idea of entrepreneurship.
Oh wow!
I started to open up to me, and as a result, I never ended up carrying on. After I got my degree, I didn't continue to be a CA. Instead, I went towards the side of business, entrepreneurship. And for the next 10 years after that, I think I was involved in probably like 12 to 15, if not 20 business ventures. And I don't like to call them failures, because you learn lessons in business.
Most definitely.
You don't fail. But it was during that time, I think, that this nature got curated in me, right? Because I started to see the difference between wanting to be rich or wealthy because you have a great product and you want people to buy it, and started understanding the idea of the fact that, you need to learn to be valuable to people.
Yes.
People are attracted to something that is, valuable to them. So it just took me full cycle, and it started becoming more and more about what I was about, even in my spiritual journey. More than anything, what I encourage people, or I feel like one of the things I'm meant to do, is to help people find out the greatness that they have inside.
Oh wow!
And so that's, on the financial side, equals value. So this is how I got to this place of value, all the way from Evuta.
Oh wow! I hope by the end of this episode you would have found your greatness, viewer there.
Yes.
So essentially, who did you write the book for? Because when I read it, it felt a bit technical, even though it quote a lot from the scripture. So the lessons from Bible, it came out very clear in this. So I'm very curious to try and find out who did you write it for.
That's a great question. And I think it's quite going to be, probably the answer is not going to be the same as other people will give. And I agree that, 2 points that you made there. Number one, the fact that I drew a lot. The principles that I teach about in the book are drawn from the Bible.
Of course.
Yes. In fact, the inspiration behind writing the book came from God. It came from a place where God is like, I need my children to understand the value that they have. We all like quoting the scripture, arise, shine, and then the people and the kings will come. But why are they coming? It says they're only coming if you're providing them solutions, if you're providing them value. So it was from a place where I need you to help my people, not just my children, but my people, to start understanding who they are and the value that I've placed on the inside of them. And really the hallmark of what I'm teaching about in the book is this idea that I always like to use, that it seems as though God designed life in a very interesting way, right? That if you're in a community and then there's problems in that community, what God will do, He will take the solutions to those problems and place them inside of people.
Exactly. Hey? So each one of them will be able to provide specific services that are able to advance the community.
Exactly. So I feel like God made it so that you can't just be with a lot. You have to have some sort of a community spirit. And what I love about it is the fact that, if you've got the solution in you is to help other people. So if you don't have the heart of helping other people, it's very hard for you to make money in business.
And I don't want the viewers to miss this point, that money ngafuni, if you do not want to go out there and help people, nihlala nezinto zethu. You are sitting there,
exactly,
and we are meant to benefit from you.
Completely. And that is really the foundation of the book, to say so many people are walking around with solutions to the millions of problems that we have in the world.
Because they never gave themselves time to explore how much they can contribute.
Exactly. Which brings us back to value. Because the foundation of what makes someone stand up and say, actually, I've got the solution to this problem. It's not easy for you to say. It's not easy for you to actually think you're special enough to solve a problem that you identified in your community, let alone in the world. So it just goes back to, the more valuable you are, then the better you're able to actually embrace the skills or the solutions that God has placed inside of you, and you actually start helping the community. So that's why, the fact that I was inspired by God to write the book. So a lot of the principles come from the Bible, even though the book itself, even though you're not Christian, you can still read it. It'll work for you, because it's just universal principles that will work for anyone who applies them. Now, in terms of it being technical, that also I could say was by design, because the book is a step one in a multi-step plan.
Of course, yeah.
So the book is, you read the book and you're like, okay, something's going on. Something got stirred up in me. I'm not sure where to go with this. And that's where I've got a company called Value X Consultants. And we have created an ecosystem, and we've created different programs and applications that actually help support you to implement the things that I teach in the book. So the book sort of like works as a textbook, right? You've got a textbook. You can't just give a student a textbook and say, go write. Right? They still need a lecturer. Right, so the book is supposed to say, step one, we'll still come through, we'll lecture you about it, we'll talk about the different parts of it, and then the technicality starts becoming less and less when you actually engage with us in that manner.
And now, for a person who's sitting and watching this, where exactly can they start? I mean, I hear that you say people need to recognize their greatness. But in Kaya, I'm sebenzi, and nothing works for me, I'm negative and all of that. So how do I get to a space where I can be able to see my greatness?
Sure. I love that question. And one of the things I feel like is simple in the book, even though it comes along as technical because it's an equation, but it's what I define value as. So value in a sense, just a simple sense, is that which a person does or creates that has the potential or the ability to impact other people's lives positively.
But then, that's English. It's
English. But then value has an equation, right?
So let's see if we can say this again. The way you define value is something that has an ability to
positively impact other people's lives.
Oh, wow.
So that's just it. Anything you do or create that can positively impact someone else, that's value. And that's what people will give you money for, because you're impacting their lives. I used to like saying, nobody wakes up in the morning saying, man, I hope today I make somebody else a millionaire. Nobody thinks that. And sometimes we're thinking that, just because I made a beautiful product, I'm thinking people are going to flock to me. Look, people are not out there to make you rich. I'm sorry, no matter how beautiful you are, nobody's out there to give you money. The only way they give you money is if what you've created is so valuable to them that they've got no choice but to come to you.
Oh, wow.
Right? And again, all of that starts off by you believing that you can create something that is impactful for others. It has to be about other people. I keep saying business is about other people. Even if you're a selfish person to the degree that you don't even care about what other people are going through, you're not going to make it. You have to, even if you are selfish, you must be selfish enough to give other people what they want so that they can give you what you want.
I like what Umairon
of Golden
yes. said, that your money is with other people. So for you to get that money, you have to give something of value for them to part with that money.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly.
That is exactly it. Myron, I love what it teaches about value as well. So I completely agree with that. And just going back to your question. So now that we've got the definition of value, I've got an equation that just simplifies it, right? So value is equal to time multiplied by effort.
Oh, yes.
So value equals time multiplied by effort. That means whatever you spend time on multiplied by, or rather, let's say the time you spend multiplied by the degree or quality of effort that you put in equals value. So if you say to me, oh man, I don't know if I'm valuable, I say, do you have time? Are you doing something? Then you're potentially valuable, because everybody has those two things. Everybody has time and everybody has something that they're doing. So in essence, what I love
I don't want for us to miss that, because a lot of people think they don't have time, and yet we have the same amount of time. Now the difference is that the way in which we use the time that we have determines how much of that we can essentially use to create value.
Oh, wonderful. Perfect. That's perfect. I love it. You got it. That's exactly
I'm a good student. I read the book then.
That's exactly it. So you're sitting there and you're like, oh man, I don't have time, or I'm unemployed. Man, you're unemployed? So you got all that time. You realize how much you know how much value you have at your disposal. You have all that time. Right? I'm employed. It means I'm out there. Yes, I'm creating value, but I'm creating value for someone
else. Yeah.
I'm creating their empire by going there, right? I'm building it with my time, and they're giving me a salary. You who feels like you're unemployed and you just don't have any value, no, you're actually in a very good position to say, with this time, what effort can I put in that when I multiply this time by whatever it is that I'm doing, can can that thing in with my time and my effort, can it impact other people positively? And if you create something with your time and your effort that impacts other people positively, you're creating value, and money will come.
Dude, wow. I think you have even answered all the other questions. Okay, but anyway, you did indicate that you also provide through ValueX classes or support from what you teach in the book. So just take us through that, and what else do you do as well?
All right, awesome. So when you read the book, the main, I'll call it, theme that goes throughout the book. So the first part of the book speaks about the definition of value, so you can understand it. And it also gets you to a place where you firstly understand that you are valuable. And I can't stress this enough. Getting to a place where you believe that you've got internal value is one of the keys to success. I make this example that, there's not much that you can buy being a billionaire that you can't buy being a millionaire, especially a centimillionaire.
Oh, yes.
We've got hundreds of millions. So why is it that if we've got hundreds of millions, why do I still want to be a billionaire? So it's beyond money, right? Being a billionaire is almost like a statement that says, I'm I've created something that forces the rest of the world to acknowledge the value that I know I have on the inside. So
what? So in other words, you can have value, but if people do not recognize the internal value that you have, then it doesn't serve the world as it's supposed to.
You just took it to another level. Yes, I love that. Oh, I love that so much. Because I was looking at it on the other side, you're looking at it on the other side, and I think it's brilliant. Because I always say, for example, let's say you are Jeff Bezos, and you just like, I know from the way I was raised, or for some reason, I know I'm valuable on the inside. I know there's something special about me. But society is designed to systematically devalue people, because the less value you know you have, then the less money you'll ask for when I ask you to do something for me. So when you look at almost everything, we are taught to devalue ourselves. Like when you're a child, you pointed a car. That's my house. Daddy, buy me this. Mommy, that's mine. Everything is yours. You've just got this expectation on the inside that there's nothing you can't have. But then as you grow up, what are you told? No, we are poor. No, we can't have that. No, that's too big for you. No, you can't become that. So we are taught as time goes on to systematically devalue ourselves until we get to a point where, okay, whatever value you assign to me, that's my value, and I just move on with life. And that's how all people stay ordinary, right? But let's say you're Jeff Bezos, and for some reason...
Hey guys, are you hearing this? What? So, in other words, even in a job, you have been devalued to what your company is paying you.
Exactly.
So your value is more than what the company is paying you.
Exactly. I mean, unless that company is paying really well. I mean, there are companies like that who actually pay you according to your value. I would like to believe
my company is paying me well, but I'm worth more.
You know,
apparently.
Because I mean, think about it. How do they pay you at work? It's
the time that I'm putting in.
Times
the hours.
I mean, the hours times the whatever it is that you're doing, right? Your work, but the output. What's the value equation? So even at work, they give you money based on the time and the effort that you put in. So if ever you want to try to increase your salary at work, I always say that let your job see that your time is worth more than they currently know that it is. Because the only two ways you increase your salary, either by working more longer hours, so you increase the time coefficient, or by maybe getting a degree in now your effort is worth more, so now the effort part gets increased. So that's how you increase salary. So it's the same when you want to increase the money that comes to you because of the value you create. It's either you increase the time you spend or the quality of effort that you put in. So at work you'll find that, hey man, I'm working so much. This is like 40 years of my life, and what do I have to show for it? A boss who's got a Bentley or Lamborghini, and myself who does not have a legacy. So I'm not against jobs. I mean, I've got one, right?
I've got one too.
But
I'm hearing from what you're saying that there will be no point where they can pay me my actual true value.
Exactly.
The way you explain it.
Exactly. Because I want to go back to the example I was making with Jeff Bezos, because I feel like he answers this so much. So if you're Jeff and you've got this value on the inside, and remember he used to work for, I think, a Wall Street firm. So he was making good money. So you're in a Wall Street firm, you're making good money. What's wrong? What are you doing? Why are you starting a website? Why are you selling books? Why are you bothered? You're making money. What's going on? But something on the inside, like, no. My level of greatness is just calling me from the inside. There's something on the inside of me. Yes, they are paying me what I'm seeing here, but I just know there's more on the inside. So he goes out and says, you know what, let me create a company that's going to make me so much money that the rest of you are going to be able to acknowledge the value that I've always known that I have on the inside. So the company becomes a vehicle to externalize the value that he has on the inside. So it doesn't have to be a company for you, but there should be something that you are doing or building that is a means to externalize the value that you have on the inside. And more often than not, whatever it is will benefit people. I remember one thing they asked Jeff Bezos, I think was brilliant. They were complaining about him being worth 100 billion. How can you be worth 100 billion? People are poor and whatnot. And I love his response. He said, so I'm worth 100 billion. Amazon is worth 1 trillion. That means I have made $900 billion for other people who are not me. So why are you bothering me? That 900 billion that is shared amongst those shareholders would not be there without me. In fact, when you take it further with Jeff Bezos, how many people have become thousandaires and millionaires by using Amazon and selling through Amazon? So how many lives has he changed and impacted? So yes, it's worth $1 billion, but that's a reflection of the degree to which his value has actually touched people.
Actually, their question speaks to how their mindset is in scarcity.
Yes.
Because they are looking at this one and forgetting Uguti gahle, it's much bigger. It's much bigger than you could ever wrap your head around.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's all about creating value. I mean, we sometimes we don't realize how much value these guys have created. I take Mark Zuckerberg, for example, again, one of the richest people in the world, and I just look at Facebook, Facebook, and I'm like, how many preachers are using Facebook to preach the gospel? How many people have gotten born again through Facebook? How many people have come to the Lord? How many people sold their products? How many millions or billions have been made simply by people using that? So you look at him and like, oh man, these rich guys, can you comprehend how much value he's created for people? So when you shift your mindset to, I'm also a person of value. Now, one thing I can tell you, nobody has more value than you. The difference between the ones we've spoken about in you is the degree to which you have understood and embraced your own true value. Because when you understand and embrace your value, your outlook on life changes. Now you're all about, okay, how can my value impact and change other people's lives? And the degree to which you are doing that will determine, in turn, how much comes back to you.
Yeah, I call it, guys. All right, we need to
wrap this up. I didn't even answer your question about the value X. Oh man, sorry, I took a detour. So anyway, so that part was understanding value. So one of the first things we do as Value X, we run workshops.
Okay.
Value elevated or mindset shift workshops, depends which one you're at. Okay. So one of the things we do, we go to schools, we go to churches, we're looking to go to companies, talk to students, talking to teachers. And the first thing is this, helping people understand their true value. It's a mindset thing. I mean, that's what you teach in your book as well. It's a mindset shift. It's all about shifting the mindset. So it's a long journey. So we don't mind going around doing these workshops around the country. As many people as will have us will come, will do the workshop. And the first thing is helping people understand their value. Now, the second thing, as I was trying to say earlier, that in the book I teach a framework, which is really the foundation of what I teach about in the book. It's called the value triangle. So the value triangle is the different stages that a person needs to go through with their value in order to convert that time multiplied by effort into money. Right? Just because you're spending time and spending effort doesn't mean it's going to be money. It's just, I call it potential money. But then there are steps or stages you must go through in order for your value to be able to be converted into money. So that's what the value triangle talks about. First level is value creation, then value communication, then value assimilation, then value conversion, and lastly is value leveraging. So all throughout the book, I'm teaching about these different stages and proving really that they work if you apply them well. So another thing that we do with our workshops, after we've done the value shift or the mindset shift workshop, we then take you through the value triangle workshops, where we're taking you through understanding the different stages of value. But I think another beautiful thing that we are doing, which is the last part of what Value X does, is that we're looking to be practical, right? So I'm going to make an example. So we get to a community. Let's use Davidson. We get to Davidson, we run these value workshops. And as we're running these value workshops, we're firstly, we're helping the people understand their value. Secondly, there's assessments that we're going to release where you do an assessment and we categorize your value. You fall into this value category, and then we put you in our database. Then while we're talking with you, we help you, okay, what are the problems, as I said, Davidson? You point them out. And then together we come up with potential solutions for those problems. So let's say illegal dumping is a problem. A solution is creating an innovative app for illegal dumping. Then what we do, now that we've got the solution, we go back to our database and say, who of these previously unemployed people actually have the skills to execute this particular project. Then we have them. Then from there, we're going to go and knock on the doors of companies at Davidton and say, hey, look, here's a problem. Here's a solution. The people in your own community can actually apply it. We just need you to give us the funds through your CSI projects to implement this project. And this is what we're going to do around the country because it solves many problems. Number one, these guys have a budget to spend, the big companies. Number two, there's problems in their communities. And number three, the people who will be solving those problems are people within that community.
Which in turn solves the unemployment problem.
Exactly. That is basically Value X in a nutshell.
Wow. But like, how do you then get someone? Because it is very much a concern for me, the way our mindset were intentionally made to be the way they are, in terms of scarcity, in terms of unable to essentially see the value in being robots that work for corporations, because if I don't find a job, I have no plan. So how then do we dig ourselves from there to start seeing value in ourselves? Yabo?
Sure. Beautiful question. And I'm going to use the word you used because it brings me to an analogy. You said, how do we dig ourselves? And for me, it takes us back to one of the greatest things that happened in this country, and that is the gold rush.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So people went from all over the country coming to Gauteng looking for gold because there was just these mines. It's an opportunity for you to go out there and mine this gold. Now, the interesting thing about gold, and one of the things that makes it valuable, is that if gold was found in a street corner, everyone could just pick it up. It wouldn't be valuable. But because of the time it takes and the specialized machinery and skills you need to dig it out, time multiplied by effort equals value. So what made gold valuable was the degree to which it was hard to dig it out. But once it was dug out and it had a purpose, then it started to be valuable. So I look at our communities in the same way. Yes, we might look like rubble. On the outside, we might look like it's over for us. But on the inside, there's some digging that needs to happen. We're gold mines. Now, instead of digging for physical gold, we're digging for people's skills and talents, which for me is worth more than gold. So what we need to do is encourage a mentality of, if you can't dig for gold yourself, come to us and we'll help dig the gold out of you. We'll help dig the value out of you, because yes, true, it's deep-seated. And that's why we are doing these workshops, because we understand that it's a process that's going to need to take place. We even want to bring psychologists and some social workers to help us through the process, because we understand how deep-seated it is. But it's worth it because we're digging for gold inside the hearts of humans.
Hey, guys. We're not going to finish, unfortunately. So, just in conclusion, how then do you define, because this podcast is Think Like the Wealthy, so how do you define thinking like the wealthy in this space of value and you know who you are and what you do?
Yeah, I think it's going to be very hard to answer it without quoting your book.
Oh, please quote away. Oh, definitely.
You speak about that is, values, wealth is not about income, but it's a mindset that just goes beyond money to other spheres and areas of your life. And for me, it's similar to...
I'm smart, yeah.
So for me, that ties in with what we are teaching as a first step. I always say, you take a straight A student who's studying accounting and you put them in biology and they've never studied biology. Give them a year, they'll get A's in biology.
Oh, yes.
It's not about what they're studying, it's about what they believe on the inside. And I feel like thinking like the wealthy goes back to that, right? How much do you feel like this life that you deserve to have, and what legacy you also speak about, what legacy that you want to leave. So for me, thinking like the wealthy is adopting a mindset that says the degree of value I have on the inside needs to be matched by what I see on the outside. So my everyday actions are building towards that goal. Every decision that I make, every small thing, which again you talk about, every small thing that I do every day, let me be conscious about the fact that, is this thing pushing towards bringing out my value, or is it doing the opposite?
Oh, wow. Hey, Icon, we learn every day. So where can people find you?
All right, so we've got a website. You can check us out on valuexco.co.za. And then you can email me directly as well on dogozo@valuexco.co.za. Then also I'm quite active also on LinkedIn. So you can just search for Ntokozo Hlatshwayo, the founder of 365 Local. You'll find me there.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much for visiting us. And clearly this conversation is not over. I hope you're prepared to come back because we're going to have questions. And please, I encourage you viewers to ask if you have any questions. Please like and subscribe. But yeah, this is Mama Ntokozo signing off from Think Like the Wealthy podcast. Bye.